Right there. I.W. Harden. Is that right? Sounds an awful lot like Texas to me. Were you born in Texas?
No, John.
Where were you born?
I was actually born in Arkansas, but I'm from California.
Oh, from California.
Yes.
Well, that accounts for that rugged good health I can see. Mr. Harden, the panel. Mr. Harden, will you join me over here, please, sir? Do you know how we keep score, Mr. Harden?
Yes.
All right, let's let the folks at home and those who come to join us in the audience in the theater tonight know exactly what your line is. All right, panel. Mr. Harden is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning with Arlene Francis.
Do you deal with a profit-making organization?
No.
That's one down, 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Harden, you say you're in California now. Does the work that you now do keep you sometimes in California?
No.
No, I would say this, I think, with Mr. Harden's permission. He is from California, but this does not necessarily mean that he is presently planning to spend the near term there or to do his work there, Bennett. So that's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Mr. Harden, this non-profit-making organization that you work for, is it any branch of any government?
Yes.
Do you work for the federal government?
No.
Yeah, afraid we have to...
Yes. Yes.
I think we're in bad shape if you don't know.
Very confusing.
Does your work ever take you to a city east of the Mississippi?
At times.
Are you ever in Washington, D.C.?
At times.
Are you ever south of Washington, D.C.?
At times.
Do you have anything to do with our national defense?
Well, I was going home early tonight anyway. Yes, indeed. I think, Mr. Harden, we have to admit that one of the probable, possible results of your activity would have a relationship, somewhat, shall we say, tangential, but still a relationship to national defense.
Would you consider yourself part of the legislative branch of the government?
No.
That's 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Gable.
Does the work that you do have anything to do with any of the equipment for the any of the armed forces of the United States?
You're speaking now of military hardware, I take it, Martin.
Or clothing, or anything like that.
I mean, the production, sale, distribution thereof, that sort of thing?
John, history teaches us not to take your lead. Do you have anything to do, any relation to the armed services which has nothing to do with production, sales? I took a lead.
Yeah, we'd have to give you a yes.
Yes. Does it then have to do with engineering, say, or equipment of some kind? That
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
Does it have anything to do with, do you wear something other than what you are wearing now in your job?
Yes.
Is it a uniform of some kind?
You mean a specific military?
No, I mean sort of something that covers him up neatly.
Oh, well, I'm sure you may have 30 seconds for a conference.
I think he's a spaceman.
One of those...
Yeah.
My husband is very sensitive about these things. Do you take off at all? Have you been practicing taking off the ground and reaching up for Never Never Land?
No.
No, that's 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Sir.
Mr. Harden, you say you do wear something other than what you're wearing now.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily a recognizable uniform. Is that correct? Not a uniform that we would recognize immediately as either Army, Navy, or Marine.
That's right.
Right.
That's correct.
Yes.
Would this uniform be, in general, a little bit flimsier than what you're wearing now? Less Would you be wearing
Yes.
less?
Yes.
When you had this equipment, or whatever uniform it is on, might you get anywhere near water?
No.
6 down and 4 to go. Miss Kilgallen, I'm going to give you 1 minute more.
You don't go near water, you don't take off. So whatever it is you do it on land. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is there any product involved in what you do?
No.
That's 7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Gable.
Do you give advice to any people, however remotely connected with national defense?
Yes, I would say you give advice to people, however remotely connected with national defense, wouldn't you? Yes.
Do you train them in some way?
Pardon me?
Do you train them in some way?
You train them in some way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you train them to perform a normal defense service, by which I mean flying or sailing or fighting directly?
Well, I don't think we can give you that.
Now, wait a minute, John.
All right, you want to take a shot at it? Go ahead.
I have an idea that he does something idiotic like dancing or something.
I'd like to, may I ask a question, John?
All right.
Have you anything whatever to do with athletics?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you coach of some kind of a team?
Yes.
Are you a coach of a football team?
Yes.
Is it one of the service football teams?
Yes.
Oh, dear. Is it the one out in the Air Force?
10 down and no more to go. Now, panel, I would like you to meet Wayne Hardin, which is why we didn't use his first name, who is the new head football coach at the United States Naval Academy. And this is a remarkable post because, Ed, I believe you're just a little over 30, aren't you?
32.
32 years old and head coach. He follows in the footsteps of, in my mind, one of the great men of modern football, Eddie Erdelitz.
Yes.
And we wish you as much success as Ed did and as great teams and as great affection as he got from his players. It's good to
Thank
have
you,
you with
John.
us. Yes, Dorothy?
John, could we please have from our distinguished guest a further description of the flimsy attire that he wears when doing
Oh,
his
no,
work?
this was an assumption on the part of the panel. Actually, when he's coaching, he has on a sweatshirt and a pair of trousers, which is less clothing than he has now. No ties, shirts, socks, shoes, that sort of thing.
What's
Mr.
Hardin going to do about the lonely end that Army's going to use again?
We'll show up.
We'll show up. Well, your first game is with my alma mater, I believe, Boston College.
Yes,
This puts,
2 weeks.
This puts me in tough shape, you know. I've got to tell you why. Well, may the best man win. That's all I got to say, Wayne. Thanks very much.